Are you annoyed by the fact that your tire shine only lasts a week or two, or maybe even just one rainstorm? Are you tired of having to constantly scrub that browning off your tires? Well, what if you could put a water-based tire shine on that actually sealed the tires to keep browning to a minimum, provide UV protection for the rubber, and that lasted up to 3 months? So today I am reviewing and starting testing on a product that claims to do just that, Ghost from Armour Detail Supply. Now, in addition to Ghost, I'm also going to do a comparison between the new Ghost and their Tire Plus tire shine to see how much longer Ghost can last and how well Ghost and the Tire Plus hold up to everyday driving. So let's get into the product specs and see just why this could be the next great product from Armour Detail. All right, Internet, just to be completely transparent, I ordered 2 bottles of Ghost and a bottle of Tire Plus the day of launch, and they were shipped to me, in fact, like super fast shipping. Now, ADS later refunded my order, and they said they did so to show support for my channel. They didn't ask me to do anything, they didn't ask me to say anything, but you know, as with the other videos I've done, the review will be my own, and opinions, well, actually my experiences and opinions will be my own, because keeping the trust of you, my viewers, absolutely demands it. Now, in fact, I almost feel like I need to go the extra mile to prove an unbiased review. So what I'm going to make sure is I do the test of the Ghost with all sorts of normal products that you might get on your very own tires. Now, I won't be doing that in this video because it's basically it's an application video and initial impressions, but I will keep you updated in a long-term review on it. So let's get into what makes Ghost and ADS so special, with ADS being first. So, as you may have heard me say in any of the other videos, ADS is owned by Bradley and DJ and they both own their own detailing shops. So they develop and use the products, they develop the products they use, I should say, and they test it in their own shops long before releasing the products to the market for us. And in fact, they also continually upgrade their current products as they find a need to improve on them, and they do so on a regular basis. So, such is the case even with the Tire Plus here. Now, since they've released it, they've actually revised the product twice this year alone, and so any videos you've seen of it from 2023 are quite frankly old news at this point. So if you've gotten an old bottle, or if you have an old bottle that maybe you got last year and maybe you didn't like it, so the difference between old and new is just striking. So number one, they have a complete change of scent in this stuff, and I mean, it smells like really good, to be honest with you. But more importantly, it's got a much higher viscosity, which in fact actually double, which means that it's far less watery than you may have experienced it if you bought it last year. So as with other tire shine products, this one is a basic, it's just a simple spray on and a level product, or sprayed onto the applicator and apply. So, and the level, just like any other product, the level of sheen depends on how many coats you apply. Now, this seems very, very basic, and they claim it can last several weeks. Now, for what everyone wants really to know about, and well, that's the ADS Ghost. Now, the Ghost is a tire sealant, all right, that incorporates silicones and acrylics and actually forms like a hydrophobic barrier that's supposed to resist water and chemicals while lasting up to 3 months. Now, the level of gloss you're going to get is dependent on how many layers you put on the tire. So, Ghost is claimed to protect against UV rays, and because it is a sealant, all right, you should get way less browning than you had in the past. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, browning on your tires happens in one of 2 ways. So the first is just dirt. When the tire gets dirty, the dirt is, well, it's just brown, all right? That's really simple, right? So the second, and it's kind of harder to understand, is that tires contain chemicals called anti-ozonants. Now, the anti-ozonants are mixed in with the rubber as part of the manufacturing process, and well, the chemicals work their way through the rubber and out of the tire as time goes on, and what that does is it keeps the rubber from drying out in the process. Now, when the chemicals reach the outer layer and get exposed to the sun and oxygen, they turn brown. Now, as a result, you see your tires start getting brown rather than keeping black. Now, there's a debate about whether you should scrub all that brown off your tires, or if you should leave it there and just coat it with, you know, your tire shine products. Now, the research I've done says to scrub it off, because once that anti-ozonate works its way out and turns brown, it's really no longer protecting the tire. In fact, it's already gone through the life cycle and no longer protects the tire. So what you should do then is make sure you scrub it off and then apply a tire product with UV protection like one of these two, all right? Or any other, really, you know, even if you don't buy these, you apply a tire product, make sure it has UV protection, okay? And that's gonna slow the natural process of having the rubber break down. Now, the way Ghost works, all right, by sealing the tire for a longer length of time, means that your tires will stay black for longer and the harmful UV rays will damage your tire less. So, all right, so enough geek speak, all right? Let's get over to the car and I'll show you how to prep and apply both Ghost and the Tire Plus. All right, guys, so we're back. We have a nice dry tire, nice clean tire. It's just a dull finish. You know, I mean, I don't know. I guess there could be something left, but I don't see it. So anyway, once again, we got our Ghost. And we have a tire applicator sponge thing. I didn't buy this one from ADS, but I don't think it matters. Let's hope not. But anyway, what you're supposed to do, the directions just say spray it onto the applicator and then brush it on the tire. And it's gonna look blue when you first put it on there. So, well, let's go. Maybe I have to do that. And yeah, I could see it's blue on the applicator right here actually. So I'm gonna spray a decent amount on here because it's a sponge surface. And it looks like a little might go a long way. In fact, I got it all over my tires, or my rim there. I'm gonna have to wipe that off. And this is why I dislike stuff like that. Sorry about that, got in your way. All right, I'm gonna get some microfiber, wipe that off, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I just wanna get anything I got on the rim off of here, because it is a tire sealant. And what they say is you want to let it dry for 10 minutes at least, minimum, because if you're going to put 2 coats on, you're going to let it dry. And already I see some of the blue going away on here. It is drying more to a matte finish. Maybe I didn't put enough on there. We'll see. If I don't like the sheen, I could always add more. So now let's go to my favorite method. Let's go to the next wheel and I'll kind of show you. All right, guys, so this is gonna be, we're actually just testing this because I don't even know if this is gonna work, but it's my Tornador HVLP, and the tire dressing that I usually put on here, I could just go around there and it's pretty pinpoint. If I get a little bit on the rim, I could usually wipe it off, but because this is a sealant, and I don't even know if this is gonna work, so let's try it out. And all I did is, because it's a sealant and I wanna make sure I don't get it on the rim or a bunch of it on the rim, I actually just took a piece of cardboard and I kind of just, as you can see, it's kind of in the shape of the rim. So let's see how this works. right, so I put it on a little bit heavy there, and I missed a little bit, so let me hit that. All right. Well, there's a whole lot more product on with this, so this is actually pretty thin compared with what I normally use, and it comes out quite a bit, so I'd probably be very careful about pulling the trigger. In fact, I would probably back off on this a whole lot to make sure that I don't go too much. But yeah, application, I mean, that took what, 30 seconds maybe for 3 months worth of protection. All right, let's take a look. I could see, in fact, here, let me zoom in. I do see where it was a little bit heavier applied. Over here it's dried already though, and you could see a little bit of a sheen difference. We still have blue. Let me show you. We still have blue on the bottom going on. All right, so it's still drying. And well, we're gonna wait the 10 minutes and then see how it looks, and if we need to apply, we'll reapply. So until then, let's head over to the other side and apply the Tire Plus dressing to the other tires. All right, so we got the Tire Plus. Now the way that I usually do this type of stuff is I spray it on here, I give it a couple spritzes, and then I just do this, because this just generally washes off pretty quick. I just run it under some water, spray a little bit of APC on there later if I need to clean it, and then it's nice and clean. But I just always have a dedicated brush just for tire dressing. So let's see how this looks, and we'll get to our comparison testing then for a long-term review. Or maybe it's a short-term review. I guess we'll find out. All right, I put a lot of sprays on there now. Like, this stuff smells really good. And if you wanted to, I guess you could apply the Ghost with this method as well. In fact, I probably would like this better than the sponge, because this really gets in these little grooves in the tire. In ADS, the guys there, Brad or DJ or Bradley and DJ can correct me if I'm wrong, but this smells like bananas. It smells really good. In fact, we need more banana scented car care. Let's make a banana rinseless, or actually, like, do a hero, like banana split hero or something. I don't know. That'd be really cool. We're at the back tire. We'll give it a couple more prime sprays. We have a nice layer of the Tire Plus now on our driver's side. Let's head back over to the Ghost side and see what's going on. All right, so the first tire that we did with the Ghost, I could see it soaked in a little bit better in parts of the tire. They're really, in fact, this is actually pretty dry. In fact, let me look. Yeah, it's been 10 minutes now, according to the time code on the recorder here. So we're gonna put on one more layer to try and even out the color, and then we'll head over to the front and take a look at what the HVLP looks like, and when we how we did it with the HVLP gun. So one more time around. Now immediately I noticed that the additional application is going on way smoother. The coverage is better. I mean, you could see this on camera. I'm sure you could see it. Yeah, that's looking fantastic already. I could see the sheen is a lot more even on that. So let's see the front now. All right, so I could see where we did it with the HVLP gun. It dried, and yeah, you could still see some of that, some of the runs and drips and everything. So I'm gonna hit it one more time because, again, just like in the back, I see there's a little bit duller part or duller sheen, and then a little bit where it's shinier. So I want to try and even that out. But overall, I mean, this is drying, and you can almost feel like it's actually slick. Feels pretty cool. So let's do this again. We got our cardboard.
There we go. We just have a nice mist. That makes it way better. I think maybe we tried to put on a little bit too heavy the first time.
That application looks way better. In fact, hopefully, there we go. You can see now there's still some blue. I didn't put it on nearly as heavy this time. So it's all about metering with the spray gun, but this looks pretty nice. And unfortunately, it's starting to get dark outside, so hopefully we can get this to dry pretty quick. That sheen is way better. So anyway, it works with the HVLP, but honestly, I think, you know, I guess if you were doing a lot of cars, this might be a viable option, you know, if you had your own cover that like covered it. But honestly, I think the trick is with that sponge, you do one application, you let it dry, and then you just come back, and the second application just levels super easy across. In fact, let's go back there and check really quick. Oh, this looks way better. Yeah, let's check this out, guys. Now there's more of an even sheen across here. This is looking really nice. I don't think I'm gonna put a third application on here because I really like this sheen. It's got a little bit of gloss, not a lot, just a little bit of gloss, but we're gonna let this dry. And yeah, we'll see how that works. In fact, let's go over to the Tire Plus side and see how that turned out. All right, so we're on the Tire Plus side, and you can kind of see it's got that same almost glossy sheen, but it's more like a satin finish. Looks really nice. Just one application with the brush. We'll go to the front. Same thing on the front. We have a nice glossy or satin finish. Semi-gloss, I guess you could say. Looks pretty good though. In fact, you could see the difference. You could see where I hit it with the brush versus bare tire there. So you could see there is a difference. So now that you've seen a couple different application methods and how it looks on the tires, I want to go over a few things that I noticed on the Ghost here, all right? Number one, it dries fast. like really fast. In fact, I didn't test this, but it felt nearly dry to the touch after 10 minutes. And I would venture to guess that after just 30 minutes dry time, that you would almost be guaranteed no tire sling, even if you were to drive on the highway. So I think their instructions of waiting 1 hour before getting wet adds validity to my personal findings. Now, number two, while it worked in my HVLP sprayer, the fact that it dried so fast meant that the sprayer almost didn't even spray water through it when I cleaned it out just a couple minutes after filming that portion of the video. Now, because of this, I would not recommend the HVLP spray method, even though it did work. So the recommended method of spraying into the application sponge worked really well and distributed the Ghost like any other Tire Shine products. And that blue tint that you could see meant that it was put on the tire in a uniform layer. So it also rinsed from the sponge incredibly easy. Now, so far, the Ghost seems better to me than any normal Tire Shine I've used, including the CarPro Dark Side. Now, I say this because the Dark Side takes much longer, for me anyway, to actually dry than the Ghost does. Plus, the Dark Side is like a really thick gel that you pump out, whereas this is a spray bottle, all right, making application far easier. Plus, being water-based, the cleanup is also much easier. In fact, now let's compare the two based on price as well. So the Dark Side is 20 bucks for a 500 ml bottle, and this is 25 bucks for the 16 ounces. So roughly the same size bottle, but the Ghost is a bit more expensive. Now, however, the extreme ease of use for me, and with needing to use such a small amount of product per vehicle, means the Ghost is still a great value. Now, I honestly would not hesitate to spend 25 bucks on this from any supplier that sells the ADS products. Now, earlier I mentioned that I would be testing this with some chemicals, and I will on my long-term review, all right? But I just did a basic rinseless wash on it since applying, and as you can see in this photo that I'm going to show you right now, the water just beads up on it, and if I hit it with a blower, the water flies right off. In fact, I even hit one of the tires with the drying towel after the wash, and none of the product seems to have come off. Now, when was the last time you heard anyone tell you that they dried a tire off with a towel? Probably never. So anyway, for my initial review and impressions, I give Ghost 2 thumbs up, or in the context of detailing products, let's give it 4 out of 4 tires. Now, before I go, I want to talk about the Tire Plus as well. All right. As with the Ghost, it's also a water-based dressing, which also dried very quick, and with one application provided a really nice satin to semi-gloss finish. Now, as I had never used this before, I was really surprised at how it looked and how quickly it had dried, as compared with, once again, with other Tire Shine products. Now, I won't be putting the Tire Plus through the same chemical treatment as I will with the Ghost for testing, but I will just evaluate it based on everyday driving, which in my case is roughly 50 miles a day, 250 miles a week, and 1,000 miles a month. So initially for the Tire Plus, I would have to give this one, all right, 3.5 out of 4 tires. Now, because of it's a 3.5 out of 4 tires, all right, for its ease of application, quick drying, good semi-gloss appearance, and really the ease of water cleanup, I literally just ran the brush through water and it was clean. So now the feel on this is different than with the Ghost. Now with the Ghost, it kind of felt like hard, almost like it had a hard film on the tire surface, and I don't know how that stays flexible, if you're hitting, as you go over potholes and stuff, but it felt hard and slick on the surface. And the Tire Shine didn't. So the Tire Plus, here got docked half a tire for that. And, we'll see if anything, happens. If this kind of like cracks off, well, we'll test that, or we'll see that going forward. So there you have it. My initial application and use thoughts and impressions on both the Ghost and the Tire Plus. So as always, thank you for watching, and to stay updated with my long-term Ghost review, please consider hitting that subscribe button below. So have a great day, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.